Hello, hello. Hey, Rising Phoenix. How you doing? I don't know if James is still here or not. I don't know if anyone can hear me. So, I swear I hear sound in the background, but I don't know where it's coming from. Um, how does the sound to you? Hello, Ashley. How you doing? I headphones. Hold on. I have to unplug the headphones. Okay, let's see if that works better. Okay, okay, good, because the sound is always a question mark. It's always a big question mark. Chaos gremlins every single time. There's some sort of like thing going on. All right, hi to welcome to Words Have Power. How is everyone doing? Hey James. Yeah, it's probably going to be. It's a lot. Like, um, like, gee, thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm so blushing. You all right? You all right, baby girl? Okay, go play. Um, this right here. This right here. Listen. Oh my God, dude. All right. We got to wait a minute before I can talk about the subject, especially the first subject that we're going to be talking about, because the way things are on here, I have to kind of be careful of the word usage. Um, I it, welcome to Words Have Power. I'm Shelly. Most people call me Words, and I'm cool with that. Um, man, we're going to have some interesting live streams coming up. As it stands now, I have about 25 live streams put together. So um, it took me a while to recover from that cold. I'm still not fully at 100%. That cold was pretty intense. Um, hey, babe, how you doing? Um, so yeah, the cough was ungodly, and I coughed so hard my ribs hurt. Like I think I almost broke a rib, if that even makes sense. But like it was pretty intense. So it's good to be back, and we have a whole lot of live streams. And just to make something clear straight off the bat, if you have a loved one or a friend or you were a victim of gender-based violence, hate crime, something like that, and you want me to talk about your case or a loved one's case or a case that has been bothering you from your community, just let me know. Or if you want to do an interview, that's fine too. And we can do it however you want to. Um, with those, I do look at doing pre-recorded, edited videos because for me, it's all about the comfort level of the person I'm interviewing. Um, but yeah, we have I think 3 live streams coming up that I am currently researching that were requests. But this one here today, this is interesting. Um, Gotta wait about 15 minutes. Let's see, how long have we been going? We still got a little bit of time to wait. I dislike censorship, but here we are, and there it is. Um, yeah, we're gonna get to that. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people were waiting. Um, so so we're gonna try to move with compassion for one person in this situation. It's still gonna be hard, but, we're gonna be chill, okay? In the comments, we're gonna move with grace, or try to. Although I might be cussing, there's no telling. How's everyone else doing? How are y'all feeling? I know I feel kinda like it's nice to be up here getting some stuff done instead of being on the couch and sleeping and or eating and just recovering from the cold. That cold was nasty. Um, yes, please hit the like. By all means, it does help. Um, hit the like and share the video. I've got logged out of Facebook on here, so I couldn't upload it to Facebook. So a bunch of people are gonna be like, "Why didn't you tell us?" And I'm gonna be like, "I couldn't." Uh, hey, Robin, how you doing? Um, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Luna. That does suck. Um, I was playing with makeup today because I haven't really like been able to, so I just like dove face first into makeup. And it's like, am I really gonna do this live stream? Yes, I am. Yeah, yes, I am. Um, don't forget to hit go into the what do they look like now? I think they changed how they look. Let me go check and see. Do, do, do. Why is my camera fuzzy? Oh, okay. Whatever. I don't really care. But if you hit the three dots by the X button at the top of the chat, you can switch from top chat to live chat, or you could. Wait, what? Did they change it? Okay, they changed it. So now you have to hit top chat. There's an arrow next to it. Hit that and go down to live chat. Click on live chat. Um, if you're able to hang out in the chat. Okay, let me. Hey, work with me. Don't make me come over there. Um, true, very much true. I don't think that what I had was a cold. I actually think it was a virus of some kind, and it's having a really super intelligent 6-year-old is scary sometimes. Um, ooh, ooh, that's not good. That's kidneys? I don't know. I love you. That sucks. um, okay, we're about at the time where I can start talking about certain things that are pretty intense. Now, some people get irritated by that, but here's the thing for us content creators, sometimes with the subject matter that we're talking about, we have to do that. So just chill and hang out in the chat and talk with people. Um, but you know, oh, I get you, Luna. Um, yeah. So for several years, I worked in private security. 1 second, Joe. Okay. Um, so working in private security, a lot of the time we were doing disaster relief. We would also build um, stalker cases for people. We would basically what I would do is I would compile a lot of the materials pertaining to the stalking and put it together in 2 different ways. One in just linear, exactly how it happened, and then in the other packet would be from most dangerous to least dangerous. And I've talked about this before, but we started doing this because I had a stalker, and we realized this was a problem. We also realized that many people dealing with stalkers they were not gonna have enough money to hire a six-person team to help them put a stalker case together. And this was before there was a lot of education out there about stalkers. In fact, I don't even know, like, when we began, I don't know if the term stalker was being used. Um, so a lot of that work was pro bono. So we did disaster relief, stalker cases, and we also were private security for extremely wealthy people, and for celebrities. I will not tell you who we worked for. There are NDAs involved. I can't do that. Um, we also did like PI stuff. So let's say, cheating husband, cheating wife, things like that. So word gets around among security crews, security firms, security personnel, staff talks. And my boss back then, in particular, had a list of people we were never going to work for, ever. And this was non-negotiable. It was basically called the no list. There's another word, no, no-ish, if you catch me. Um, those people were off limits. We would never work for them. Some of them I knew why, and some of them I did not know why. Um, some of them you have heard of before, and some of them you have not. Um, hey, Cher, how you doing? What's up? Hi, Sleepy Lee. I'm just gonna call you that. I'm not sure which name you prefer. Um, okay, so oh, give me one sec to do something real quick. I will be right back. And I do apologize. I almost forgot to turn the mic back on. Um, I'm having problems with this rug, so it's um, okay. So, um, Oh, y'all have been talking. Very cool. You're awake, miracles. Um, doesn't matter what you call me. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I cannot wait for spring. I am waiting a lot. Okay. So if I like kind of squeal a little bit, it's because my foot probably got stuck under a rug. I listen, it is what it is at this point. So when you're working in private security, you're kind of like a piece of furniture. Um, your job is to stand there and be quiet and really not say or do much of anything and just keep an eye out. You're looking around, you're seeing who's doing what, and it depends on what the need is for you to be there. Okay. So if the person has a credible death threat or a stalker or something along those lines, and if you know what that person looks like, you're going to be looking for that person. And the whole point is to keep your client safe or in your room. Um, with PDD, with PDD, there are years, for years, there have been rumors going around, and also people who've had firsthand knowledge and experiences that were not good with him. A lot of people. Um, over the years, he has been implicated in doing some really, really bad things. When he was dating J Lo, there was a situation between where they went to a club with other people in their group, and there are allegations that he forces the women he's dating to carry pew pews on them to then give to him or his friends if something happens. Here's the thing that is extraordinary. Extraordinary. I can't even words. Listen, that's extremely toxic. That is abusive. Because what they're doing is they're having you hold any contraband that you have, right? Let's say me and Maki were going out to a club and I had him hold drugs or pew pew or something like that. Then the reason I'm doing that is so that if we get caught by law enforcement, they catch the charge, not me. Do you see what I'm saying? This happens all the time. Working in criminal courts, I saw it all the time. There'd be a woman who'd get jacked up on a charge because her so-called significant other put something in her purse and she didn't even know, or put it under her seat instead of his. That is extraordinarily toxic, and I can see why Joe left him. No joke. Um, he didn't do this just with J Lo though. He's done this with other women too, and men. When I tell you, as I was going through and trying to figure out who all has talked about being harmed by P. Diddy, it's so many that it's almost confusing at this point. You've got potentially J-Lo, Cassie, um, Justin Bieber, possibly Justin Timberlake as well. Uh, he was at one point allegedly targeting Alia. Um, look how that went. I heard whispers that he was looking at Left Eye, and look how that went. Then Tupac, Biggie, Usher. Um, oh my God, the list is so long that it gets confusing. Okay. Okay. So you got this guy who's in a position of power. authority. He has all kinds of friends in other even more powerful positions backing him. One of them that I know of, one for sure, passed away. And I others may be disengaging from him as well because I don't think the things that are happening right now would be happening if he still had those people looking out for him. Either that or he's ticked off the wrong people. These freak offs that people are talking about, they've been known about. In fact, I know for a fact there are security firms that will not hire people who work security for P. Diddy. It's to that level. There are people who turn down working for P. Diddy because they realize that if anything went south working for him, they wouldn't get hired anywhere else. Consider this. He was known to have cameras around all over the place, right? He's having all these freak off parties, all these people invited, having SWs working it, all this and that, right? With cameras there. There is no telling how many people he's probably used videos against, allegedly in Minecraft, um, to cover his ass. Okay? This has been going on. And with Cassie, with that lawsuit, I was going to do a live stream on it when that happened. I was thinking about it. But then I was like, hold on, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. And this is why I was waiting. Because I knew if she came forward and he settled with her quickly, I think it was the next day. Because when I read those documents, I could tell she went right up to the line, right up to the line. This is what I've got that I'll show now. These are the cards I have right now. There's no telling how much more she had. And I think that's why he settled so quickly with her. But here's the thing. Justin Bieber and Justin Timberlake were minors when they were hanging out with him. When he was trying to attach himself to Aaliyah, I do believe she was a minor. And there are a bunch more. I mean, it is. People are comparing him to someone with the last name Epstein, and I don't think they're wrong. I don't think they're wrong. Okay. At one point, he states that I've seen the video of him saying this. I'll try to track it down. At some point, we're going to do like a deep dive live stream on P. There are videos where he states that he has cops in his back pocket, quote unquote. So he's saying that he can do all kinds of bad things, and it's fine because he has law enforcement in his back pocket. He does not have Homeland Security in his back pocket, though. Personally, I've been wondering for a while now why the FBI didn't start investigating him. I don't know what is going on with the FBI, but I'm to the point I don't even recommend people go to the FBI to file complaints about like cyber stalking, all of that stuff. Literally, I've been telling people go to Homeland Security, go to, if it's anything law enforcement related, go to the DOJ. I don't know what's going on with the FBI at this point, but I do know that when Homeland Security comes to your house, that is significant. As an ex-sheriff's deputy, when I saw that they were doing this, I was like, oh, damn. And then when I saw it was a coordinated effort in California and Florida, I was like, oh, he is so screwed. And let me tell you, they can destroy your house, and there's nothing you can do about it because they are looking for materials pertaining to criminal conduct. Now, when I worked in courts, I don't even know how many warrants I would see my judge sign throughout the day. He would even pause court in the middle of court to read over a warrant if it was something really serious, especially relating to a child, the well-being of a child. He'd pause court, read over the warrant, and just hash it out with law enforcement. What about this? What about that? Yada, 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 making sure it's constitutional. I was blessed with a judge who was on it when it came to civil rights. So P. Diddy has a private plane. He has people who are willing to drive from one state to another and back and forth and all this stuff. He had people who were willing to transport contraband and people. What do we call that, everyone? We know what that is. I'm gonna quote my judge. If even a third of the allegations against P. Diddy are true, he's in hot water right now. And if he did have law enforcement, any law enforcement, even just one, in his back pocket, I would not be surprised if Homeland Security investigates that. And if they investigate that, they investigate particular departments for their conduct concerning P. Diddy. Some of you might be wondering why I labeled this the way I did. There's a reason. Right now. And I'm hoping that many people who are in the SP TV Nation thing will see this video right now. Might be the time to reach out to the DOJ and Homeland Security with complaints about police misconduct in California and LAPD. Think about how all of the protesters have been treated by LAPD. Think about all of the live streams, all the documentation y'all have. Y'all have so much evidence against LAPD. It's not even funny. It is significant. So if as many people as possible would take those materials, especially if you're one of the people who was victimized by LAPD, and if you would file complaints with the DOJ and with Homeland Security, I'm wondering if maybe because of everything that's going down with P. Diddy, you might be able to jump in there and be like, hey, this is going on too, if that makes sense. One of my rank would have called it piggybacking. One thing is happening, but you piggyback off of that to bring something else to light. Hold on the chat. Let me catch up with y'all. Yeah. I mean, look at Justin Timberlake. His life is kind of a mess, and some of the things that he does and says, how some of the behaviors, I think that bad things went down. So, I know, right? It's kind of amazing. And by the way, thank y'all to everyone who has subscribed. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. Let me see. Yep. Yes. Yeah, because especially international, other countries might be looking at things that he did in other places. I mean, this could be like a domino effect. That whole Tupac, Biggie thing, questionable. I have so many questions. So many questions. Okay, so it's already obvious that there's a lot of incredibly irresponsible and unprofessional conduct with LAPD. But what about Clearwater? How about Denver? Was it Baltimore? It, all over the place, right? So if Scientology in every city that they are established in tries to ingratiate themselves with law enforcement with donating to whatever thing for law enforcement and also having law enforcement work details where they're paid ridiculous amounts of money, by the way. I've worked details. I have worked details. I've never seen a law enforcement officer paid that much to work details. It's ridiculous. Um, this could potentially blow up into a bigger thing when it concerns P. Diddy. There's no telling how many people might be sweating hard right now and should be right now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of people are leaving the country. Speaking of, it appears that P. Diddy might be selling off assets and people are concerned that he's going to be a flight risk. Not surprised. Not surprised at all. All right. So now we get to Mike Rinder. Now, at this point, this is the point that I want people to be very empathetic and caring. Okay. I have no idea why someone would take it upon themselves to hold up a microscope to Aaron Smith Levin, who they were friends with, who was one of the founding two people of the Aftermath Foundation. Meanwhile, not turn that mirror on themselves. And here's why. In one video that I saw, Mike Rinder said that he didn't know what had happened with the Miriam situation because he was working on the Lisa McPherson situation. Lisa McPherson was, I'm just going to call it like I see it. That looks like negligent homicide, possibly more, and also a cover-up. Aiding and abetting. There are so many charges that could potentially and should, I think, come up from the Lisa McPherson situation. So I have questions. These are not going to be easy questions. Here we go. Mike Rinder, you don't know about a case involving a child being essayed, but you do know about Lisa McPherson. You admitted to that. You were working the Lisa McPherson situation. That was a death. That was a woman who was effectively murdered. And you were working on that. I hope that people have downloaded that video and are storing it someplace safe. I did. Because that was a stunning admission. First off. Second off. He said that like it was no big deal. Excuse me, sir, what? Okay. A court is not going to care that you are a higher up in any organization and that you were told to do this work. You had a choice. This is how they're going to see it. You had a choice and you chose to help and you did not go to law enforcement and advise them of what was happening. There is no statute of limitations on certain crimes. And they all pertain to unaliving someone. When you admitted that, I think you admitted more than you realized. First. Second, you're talking all this trash about Aaron Smith Levitt. You're focusing on him. In fact, you're targeting on him. Now, there's Scientology, and then there's reality. In reality, what you're doing is a smear campaign against Aaron Smith Levitt. That is abusive. He's not saying the damn thing. about y'all, from what I've seen, at all. So Scientology will call a smear campaign fair gaming. Scientology tries to take abuse tactics and package it in such a way that it doesn't look as bad. It's just for Scientology's safety, right? It's just to protect and guard against enemies of Scientology, right? Okay. That's what you're doing right now to Aaron Smith Levin and a bunch of other people because you don't like what they're saying because you cannot control them. To someone who's never been in Scientology, really doesn't give a shit what kind of language they use. I really don't care. I only talk about it because I kind of have to. So those of us who've never been in, who do you think bought your books? Was it mostly former Scientologists? Or was it mostly never-ins who maybe had loved ones who were in or other people that they care about and they wanted to understand what they were in? So they bought your book to read it to educate themselves. And now you're saying that we're all just keyboard warriors, please, dogs. Are you sure are you sure that's a good idea to insult and disparage the people who have supported you over the years, watching all the episodes of The Aftermath, watching interviews that you did? Without all of the never ends, you would have no audience. And me and the two families that I have been trying to help for years now, we have all decided we will never buy a single one of your books again or watch any of your content again, ever. If you think that way about those two families and about anyone else who says, hey, what you're doing is wrong, maybe not, maybe just don't. Maybe adjust your behavior. Think about what you're doing. If you think that we are all just evil, evil, bad people instead of listening to us, okay, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. So are we. I will never buy one of your books again. And you can add John Attic to that list and a few other people. If you do not appreciate our support, then we will not give you that support. It comes down to that. At the same time, you have been heavily traumatized. Heavily traumatized. I'm going to quote my judge again. If even a third of what you have disclosed about how you were treated in Scientology is true, then you have been mercilessly traumatized. And many of us out here understand that. But the tactics you are using right now are Scientology tactics. And it's disturbing to watch because it's getting worse. That's the only reason I'm doing this live stream right now, bringing up your name. Because if Homeland Security begins to investigate law enforcement in LA, and if people would reach out and let Homeland Security know about the things that Scientology does and the possible corruption with LAPD, the corruption with Diddy, that could tie into multiple RICO cases. You never know. Where does that leave you, Mike Rinder? If you were involved in the cover-up of Lisa McPherson's murder, where does that leave you? Did you go to the DOJ? Because if Scientology did a cover-up in Clearwater on the Lisa McPherson case, law enforcement would have had to have been involved in that some kind of way. They would have had to have known somehow, some way. If they were blackmailing and causing harm to the coroner to get her to change that death certificate, you were involved in that. That's what you said. You were involved in that. That's a crime. On the one hand, I can have compassion for somebody who has been severely traumatized. But on the other hand, dude, the autopsy photos of Lisa McPherson are horrific, and you co-signed that at that time, and right now you are displaying Scientology's tactics. Going after Aaron Smith Levin with all this BS, it's not responsible, it's not professional, it's not normal in the outside world. It's just not. If you're on the board of these foundations, and at this point, I think it's everyone that's on the board of these foundations, you know, replacing former Scientologists with other former Scientologists is not going to fix the problem. Because here's the thing, it's called trauma bonding. You have a group of people that escaped out of a highly toxic situation and who are all together working on this thing, kind of insulated and isolated to a degree. And all of you are coming together. You don't have any trauma-informed people on the board. You don't have any victims advocates, therapists, social workers, attorneys. I don't know, anyone who has never been in Scientology. You don't have a balance. Hold on one sec. Okay. Can you all hear me? I get nervous when I mute the mic sometimes. Listen, Aaron Smith Levin is not the source of all evil, and I'm not a huge fan. I'm just the occasional watcher of his material. I'm not a fangirl. I don't have it. It's none of that, but I don't know if you can hear me or not. It feels like many of you might be in the middle of something that one of my mentors called a rolling trigger. You were triggered by something, and you feel the anxiety, the panic, all of that, and then something else happens that triggers you, and it keeps steamrolling, and it just keeps on going and going and going and going. I've experienced this. It sucks. What you're doing right now just makes the Aftermath Foundation look completely unsafe to those of us who've never been in, but we have loved ones who. Me and those two families do not want our loved ones to go to the Aftermath Foundation for help. We've all decided that. It's a general consensus. You're not safe. Mr. Rinder, everybody else on the board of the Aftermath Foundation, y'all are not safe. And also, on top of it, you're not listening to people. And you've got people out here who are kind-hearted, loving people who are telling you that you're messing up and it's pretty bad. It's a PR nightmare for hell. And you're just making it worse. So in the video where Mike Rinder and John Attic are talking, supposedly John Attic is supposed to be asking Rinder questions from Miriam, and Rinder is supposed to be answering them. And why was John Attic talking so much? I had a lot of respect for John Attic until that video. Trauma, yep. Hold on one second, because Sharemare always comes in with it. She always comes in with it. Okay, so this right here, trauma bonding. Person strongly bonded often idealizes a partner in a physically, emotionally, sexually abusive relationship. Typically affects people who have been abused in the past, often childhood and previous relationships. Yeah. but it can also be a toxic group, like a church. Yeah. Um, so thank you, Sharamir. That was really good, though. Um, so in that video, as I'm watching it and I'm seeing John Attic basically quite often speaking for Rinder, and I'm seeing Rinder Darvo and project and try to manipulate the situation and the narrative. Darvo is deny and or deflect, attack, reverse victim and offender. That's what Mr. Rinder was doing. And it was like I was watching him back in the day when he was speaking for Scientology, and it was really disturbing. Um, so here's a thing. Oh, is it? Damn it. And see, and she's on it. Okay. All right. I don't know. It's Gremlins. Gremlins. Okay, so Darvo it is used a lot by toxic people. Um, and also by people who are in a situation they don't know how to get out of. They've dug themselves into a hole and they don't know how to get out of it. And they don't want to face the actual reality of what's happened. That's where you are, Mr. Rinder, and board of the Aftermath Foundation. It's not just Mr. Rinder. Can be. I mean, you never know, though. I'm hoping that they take it as far as they can. That makes sense. Not y'all, law enforcement. I'm hoping law enforcement investigates the F out of this situation with P. Diddy, but also Scientology. Um, I'm not sure what y'all are talking about there. I might have been talking about other things. All right, so listen, I have questions. So here are my questions. Did you go to the DOJ to report Scientology's abuses? Did you go to Homeland Security? Did you go to the FBI? Who else did you go to? Why did you demand information from Miriam in exchange for information she needed pertaining to a case? Because that is completely irresponsible and could be a criminal charge. Why were you going to make, I guess, a documentary with Mike Brown and his mother, Rosemary, and not tell them that you were going to try to ship that around to film festivals and all of that? Why would you effectively steal her life story and the abuse that she endured? What were you going to gain? But also, beyond that, when Rosemary was being SA'd and you walked in on it and then left, why didn't you stop and stop that person from doing what he was doing? Okay, we have more questions, and these are actually potentially more helpful. Hold on one sec. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Rinder, you ever wake up in a cold sweat from a nightmare that is either something that you experienced in Scientology or that plus, because that can happen. Are you ever doing some mundane thing? You're awake, you're aware, but suddenly in your mind, you're back in the hole. I hate to bring that up, but there's a reason for these questions. Then typically you'll break out in a cold sweat and just freak out a little bit. Do you ever feel like the world, your life, everything is just completely out of control and you have a hard time keeping up? All of these things, if you answer yes to any of them, more than likely you have PTSD. Listen, PTSD is not a joke. It sucks. Therapy is a really good idea, and apparently you have the money to be able to afford to go to therapy, and you should. I understand that you have been set up to fail by Scientology, drilling it in your head that psychs are bad. I can guarantee you that there are psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists out there, very kind, loving people. You should go to therapy, and you should go now. Um, because more than likely, the Aftermath Foundation is probably just about dead, which is sad. There should be multiple groups out there, foundations, helping people get out of Scientology, but not just Scientology, other destructive groups as well. All of these things that you are doing, just making it worse. The smart thing to do would be to replace, let's say, half of the Aftermath board with people who are never-ins to help balance things and make sure that the board does not become too insular to the point that what is happening now happens. Um, I cannot, in good conscience, support a foundation that is not doing what it says it will do and also is causing harm. That's what you're doing right now is causing harm. You're hurting people. You're hurting people's feelings. That's what y'all are doing. And to be so monumentally disrespectful to a survivor of CSA is disgusting. You should apologize. Come up, do a live stream, and apologize to Miriam, her brother, Rosemary, Mike, Aaron, everyone that whose feelings you've hurt. What was it? Down the Rabbit Hole News. Anyone else that you have talked shit about, you should apologize to everyone. No. Who contributes primarily to the foundation? Other celebrities? No. A lot of the people who are supporting the Aftermath Foundation were never in, Mr. Rinder. People who had never been in, but really wanted to help people, like me and the two families that I know, and a bunch of other people. That's who you are alienating right now and isolating yourself away from right now. Just apologize. When you mess up, apologize. I don't want to see the Aftermath Foundation go down in flames. I don't want to see that at all. Now, there are things you can do to help if you are having PTSD triggers, which it sounds like some of you all are. This is a beautiful scarf. That's what it looks like, right? It feels nice too. When you look at it, You're triggering your sight sense. And when you feel it, touch sense, tactile, right? This has my favorite perfume of all time on it. So it smells amazing. So I'm triggering 3 senses. And then now I'm a wee bit cozy. That feels nice. Then trigger your sense of taste, sound. Every sense that you can trigger in a positive way can help you reestablish your connection with the here and now. PTSD tries to take you back into the traumatic situation, the traumatic event that happened that messed you up mentally. It's not your fault that you have been heavily traumatized, especially with the whole thing. But how you respond to being triggered is your choice. I have PTSD. I know I'm talking about. I know that I can't just randomly go off on people for no apparent reason. I know that I have to trigger my senses. I know I have to do self-care, and I have to have people who know and can tell straight off the bat that I've been triggered, and they help me through it. But I don't rely on them. I don't. It's not their responsibility. I don't expect them to do this. Um, it's my responsibility, but sometimes we need help, right? That right there. Hydrating, drinking water, something so simple can help you rehydrate your brain, and that can help make the PTSD better. Um, but as it stands now, I'm going to suggest to everyone, just everyone out there, if you have evidence, videos, audio, whatever, documents, etc., take them. If you have physical evidence, scan it in to a computer, send all of it to the DOJ, Homeland Security, FBI. In Florida, you could send it to the Attorney General. Same with California. There are a bunch of different branches of government that you can send all of that documentation to. I know because I've done it. I've done that. I've done that, and I'm a never in. But I'm trying to do what I can to get that tax exempt status taken down. That's another question I have for Mr. Rinder. What is your goal? What do you want to do? Do you want to take down Scientology? Do you want to get that tax exempt status stripped from them? Or do you want to just bitch and try to control the narrative and try to tell people how to behave, what they can and cannot say? And by the way, that NDA that you had on the foundation is disgusting. You don't get it. You don't have a right to control Aaron Smith Levitt's life. You don't have a right to control anyone's life beyond your own. At this point, I don't think that you are just traumatized. I think you're traumatized, sure, but I also think you're toxic because you are smear campaigning someone, you're darvoing, you're manipulating and projecting, and all of these things. All these things are toxic. I don't know you personally, but I know that that is what abusers do. What you are doing right now is what abusive people do. If you're watching this, you can go just look up. I think it was Mike Rinder and John Attic answer questions or something like that. It's on here. I didn't put it in the description because I don't want to direct. I don't want to. I don't want to give them that clout, but I was offended by that video. Laughing and saying that Mike Rinder is being treated like he's being lynched No, indeed not, sir. If you don't know what the history of lynching is, maybe you should go look that up. Mike Rinder is not being lynched. Yes. There's nothing wrong with people trying to hold someone accountable for his bad behavior. And there's there's a lot going on that's pretty freaking bad right now. So, Mr. Rinder, I will make damn sure I don't bother you by buying any of your books ever again or watching anything that you are in again, ever. When I say ever, I do mean ever. And I know for a fact that I'm not alone in that assessment. You are losing supporters. The Aftermath Foundation is losing supporters. The board, individual members of the board, are losing supporters, and so are you, Mr. Rinder. You're not in charge of the world. You are not source. Okay, let's get over to the chat because I'm done talking about him. I'm so tired of talking about him, actually. The next live streams are going to have nothing to do with him. How are y'all doing? I feel like I owe an apology to people for having bought Mr. Rinder's books in the first place. Um, I've been wondering I've been wondering since this behavior. And the fact that John Attic and Mike Rinder apparently are trying to help children who've been SA'd and whatnot. Excuse you, but you won't help Miriam. That's amazing to me. Okay, so I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts about this P. Diddy thing? We are going to do a deep dive on P. Diddy. Like, I'm already putting it all together. It is a lot. What? It was more than even I knew about. It, mm, do. Okay, we're at like an hour and 3 minutes. It gets hot up here. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I definitely agree with you. Um, oh boy. Man, the two families that I was talking about, they were really friggin' angry when they saw that video with Mike Rinder and John Attic. Like, wow. It's pretty rare for them to get angry like that too. Um, did anyone else catch that comment that was talking about tattoos? A tattoo ink never leaves the lymph glands because your immune system applies black ink is made from beetles and charcoal. Oh, no. Well, I guess we can just take some oils to fix that, right? All right, dude. You're right. True. I don't know, man. It's messed up. They were here and gone. I just ignored it. Yeah, me too. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. Oh my God. I've had my one tattoo since I was like 21, I think. I'm fine, dude. Fine. If you hate tattoos, that's fine, baby. Go ahead. I like them. I'm getting more. Weird. Essential oils will fix everything. Essential oils, man. We just get you some essential oils. It'll make it all right. It might have been. I don't know. You hadn't heard of really? Okay. I mean, to be fair, he has some good music. He has some good music, just like R. Kelly. Um, yes, we should be doing food because it's been like a little over an hour, and I don't want to leave people with all that heavy. Yeah, right, right. Exactly, Shermer. Yeah, there's how many names has he used? Puff Daddy. Um, God, I don't even know. By the way, hi, retired red. How you doing? Mini chicken pot pies. He's like, oh man, you're hurting me. Why are you being so mean? What are you doing? That's not nice. I still pasties. No place up here makes it. I have to make some myself. Yeah, I know. It's been a lot. That's okay, James. I know you're probably working or something. Muffin sized. Are you these hands? That would actually, that's not a bad idea. Just get like a muffin tin and like fill them all. I don't know. It might be, maybe that's the thing that we can do with baby girl. 'Cause I want her to learn how to cook really good, like Marcus. Um, it's good to see you here, retired red. And you. It's good to see all of you. Yeah, now it's like a monumental drive to get down that way because we're in upstate Michigan now. So Philly sounds good and easy for her. It sounds so good. I'm all about it. All about it. Actually, I wonder, it might be an interesting idea to modify pasties in muffin tin. I may have to experiment. Let y'all know how it goes. I don't know. That's that sounds incredibly yummy. With along with either cornbread or beer bread in the muffin tin. Did I just crack the universe? I don't know. That sounds incredibly good though. Um, I have tiny strawberry seeds growing. They are only 10 weeks old and so delicate. They're from a rare white strawberry from Japan. I've never that sounds amazing. I know the strawberries you're talking about. That is really cool. Stuffed peppers. Oh, I love stuffed peppers. I love them, but I can't even eat peppers. But it's so ah, it should be regular sized fruit. Yeah, yeah, right on, right on. And you're in where are you at? Are you in New Orleans or because I would think they would grow really good down there. I wish I liked peppers. So do you. I love peppers, but my stomach does not. Um, you get them for guinea pigs, though. Right on, right on. Jalapeno peppers, pa poblano peppers, jalapenos. Oh, right on. Yes, yeah, I eat peppers so rarely that I didn't even know that word right there. I was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, I have, scalloped potatoes and, pulled pork in the fridge downstairs that I think I'm gonna have to go, I'm gonna have to go work that out. It's like, a mission from Goddess. I'm just gonna eat all of it. "Excuse me, sir. Sir, mufflers are a thing. Reason, sir." Yeah, now I'm starving. Oh, I totally forgot. We have, coffee chocolate gelato downstairs that I have to I'm thinking that with some whipped cream. Potatoes. See, I love this that I think that's probably part of the reason I love pasties so much because, the potatoes in there with the meat and all of the seasoning, so good. I live close to main road and get the loudest car noises. I get it. Yeah. No, we're, like, on a main road, so it's usually around this time, it's quieter. That's why I stream around this time too, 'cause there's less, ambulances and fire trucks and every friggin' thing else going around. That first and thin dinner. You mean the gelato, don't you? And I agree. Cannot resist. Oh, that's good too, but oh my god, I, tasted some of it last night. I think it was last night. Is yummy. Is yummy. Coffee and chocolate. Yeah. And then, Marcus made basically, it was a raspberry shortcake for baby girl. That stuff was so good. Just so good, and, um, we actually replaced our blender. So I've been making shakes at home. Listen, all the ice cream of whatever flavor, and then the fruit, and then all the things, like, it's ridiculously good. Yeah. And then, I made one shake and I used, I wanna say it's blueberry, it's a kind of syrup. I can't remember the name of it now, but it was, I think it was strawberries and cream ice cream, then with, like, chocolate protein powder, and I think it was a banana, and then the blueberry syrup. Oh, dude, not too much of any one thing, just perfectly balanced. So good. Don't like seeds because they get in my teeth. Yeah, I totally get that. Um, yeah, actually, those little pies, or muffins that you were talking about, that might not be a bad idea for baby girl for lunch, for school. We have to make some spaghetti, extra stuffed pepper mixture, diced chicken, frozen. Wow, that sounds good. Pulled pork tacos are heaven, really. All right. All right. So we've reached the point. I'm going to end this stream. Actually, I'm thinking about streaming again tonight. Like, getting baby girl to bed, maybe streaming again. 'Cause, I mean, I got like 5 live streams lined up. It's when I say I have all the tabs, that's an understatement. Okay, we're out of yoo-hoos. It's a dilemma. Um, baby girl can use the internet. Yep, so tall. I'm gonna be the shortest person in the room. um, pulled pork. Now you got me craving. We don't have tortillas. Shit. I just realized we don't have yeah, she's 6 years old now. 6, and I mean she's tall. She can be tall. Um, my oldest is gonna graduate from um, cosmetology school soon. She's amazing. She's wonderful. I starting to feel old. I is starting to feel old, but in the best way possible. Fish tacos. Arr, I want all the food. I want it all now. Okay, okay, I might stream again tonight. I'm not sure. See what happens. You know, I've been craving live streaming. That that cold knocked me on my ass, is what happened. But what I might do is start making clips and making shorts on here with them. A bunch of there's a lot of things I want to learn how to do that I don't know how to do yet. So, um, grandbaby is so cute, so massively cute. Yeah, I don't think I've coughed at one time in this live stream. It's a miracle. Xenu made it happen. Wait a minute. Xenu's not a god. He's the bad guy. I forgot. Okay, whatever. It's fine. That joke did not come off right. Wait a minute. Do people worship Xenu? And if so, that'd be like an Antichrist thing? I have questions. I have so many questions. So many questions roll through my mind about Scientology. I'm like, yeah, but wait, what? We had to find somebody who's been in Scientology or knows a lot about Scientology, like more than I do, because I have questions. I don't understand. Volcanoes and rockets from like the 50s and 60s or something? What? I have so many questions. What? All right, so yeah, no, but very few people do. Very few people do. And even if they don't, they might because Scientology might decide to, take credit cards out in your name without your knowledge. And um, all right, so So, baby girl is on spring break right now. Um, Fun times. We've had so much fun, but I'm gonna try to do a set schedule again just like I had before. I'm not sure what that schedule is gonna look like. I do know over the summer, baby girl is gonna be with family for summer. So we're probably gonna be live streaming a bunch over the summer. Um, yeah, I have a feeling I would be asked to leave too because I would be like, wait a minute, people, wait. Can we talk for a second? I have so many questions. Can you answer all of them, please? I actually literally have a list of questions. And I'm not the only one who has questions. I'm so confused. It's worse than certain other religions where I'm just like, what? Orion is what? Some of these destructive cults out there, wow, dude. Okay, so I love y'all. Remember, you have the right to remain silent. Don't go to a freak off. Just say no and run away the other way. Listen to Cat Williams. He's telling you the truth. Just saying. Ooh, yeah. That's another one. Someday I would like to sit down, life goal, sit down and have coffee with Cat Williams. Talk about whatever. That would be an amazing conversation. All right, so I love y'all. No is a complete sentence. We're gonna end with that right there. Yes, indeed, right there. Thank you. I love y'all. If you're on the replay crew, what have you, please hit that like button and subscribe. This live stream was a little bit all over the place, but I was kind of trying to make a point. I hope it came off. I don't know what to do, but I love y'all. Have a good night. Bye.